Welcome back, SpongeBob fans! When you think about SpongeBob SquarePants, you might have fond memories of your favorite characters living happily in Bikini Bottom. But what's behind all this happiness? Does Bikini Bottom keep any secrets? Well, for today, we bring you a very special topic. Get ready, because here are some strange theories you can find in SpongeBob SquarePants. Number 1. A nuclear experiment? The internet is home to many SpongeBob-related stories, especially those which try to find exactly where Bikini Bottom is located. If you've invested some of your time investigating those theories, you'll have found that every indication leads us to one special place. One of the most popular SpongeBob SquarePants theories claims that Bikini Bottom is located right underneath Bikini Atoll. To give you more context about why this is a very important place, Bikini Atoll was chosen by the United States as a nuclear weapon testing site. The United States used these islands to experiment with nuclear weapons more than 20 times, making it a radiation-heavy site. So maybe that's why we see both SpongeBob and his friends having mutations with their bodies and minds warped by the nuclear waste above, thus giving birth to our favorite characters. We, of course, are really against using any natural locations to make experiments, but this is a great way to explain the origin of Bikini Bottom's population. In many websites, this is also used to explain why SpongeBob has such a weird way of clothing himself, since it looks like his clothes have a correlation with the times in which those experiments were made, and also why Squidward's clothes look like the ones from our granddads. Number 2. A problem of global warming. Jumping from one natural disaster to another, we're pretty sure that everyone is aware of what's going on with global warming and its consequences, right? Well, it seems that many people associate SpongeBob SquarePants with a metaphor of how global warming is influencing the world. Let me explain. Imagine that SpongeBob is the representation of human waste and pollution. Then, Mr. Krabs, as SpongeBob's big and cruel boss, is a representation of the large corporations that cause pollution. And Patrick, as SpongeBob's best friend, represents the Western civilization. All of this is due to his laziness and innocence, representing the personality of those who aren't aware enough. Finally, Squidward represents all those who call for action against climate change. But because no one shares his interests, he's constantly ignored, creating a bad relationship between him and other inhabitants of Bikini Bottom. We hope that this theory makes you think about all these environmental problems, because they are really serious. That's why we're sure that both writers and animators are pretty concerned with this and try to make others think about how dangerous global warming can be. Number 3. What are the Krabby Patties made of? During the show's 20-plus years of history, there has been one question lurking all around Bikini Bottom. What are the Krabby Patties made of? What is it that makes Krabby Patties so delicious? As SpongeBob fans that we are, we know that it all comes down to a secret ingredient that only Mr. Krabs knows, and there might be a sinister reason why he's keeping it hidden from everyone. Many people on the internet believe Mr. Krabs is a cannibal who makes his burgers with crab meat. Some even say that he is the murderer of many of his friends. That would explain why Mr. Krabs is seemingly the only crab in town, and some even speculate that the long-absent Mrs. Krabs was a victim of his scheme. Do you imagine that Mr. Krabs killed his own wife to make one of Bikini Bottom's most famous burgers? This is for sure a nightmare-fueled story, ideal for Halloween season. But Mr. Krabs being a cannibal is not the only theory that is built around what the secret ingredient of the Krabby Patties is. We also found another theory that is also interesting. Let's check that out. What if Mr. Krabs only serves burgers that taste like crab? This argument claims that Mr. Krabs engineered a convincing imitation of crab meat, and that is the true key to his success. Crustacean paying customers get all the great seafood taste without the soul-sucking guilt of eating their best friends. It's why they prefer the Krusty Krab to the rival Chum Bucket, which serves real chum, which is non-imitation fish parts. Well, much like in the real world, where some people prefer to be vegan or vegetarian, it seems like some people are also worried about the health of Bikini Bottom's population. Number 4, SpongeBob is a real prodigy. If you've been watching the show for a long time, you've been able to see SpongeBob doing many things. How could this be? In various episodes, he can be seen mastering a variety of complex skills that range from sculpting to the development of a series of intricate bubble-blowing techniques. Also, we have seen him being a stunt double from many other professions. Here are some of them. Well, we have gathered information, and according to one Reddit user, it's because SpongeBob SquarePants is arguably the most gifted yet underachieving creature shown on TV. His reasoning to make this strong statement is that Bikini Bottom's resident sponge can pick up just about any skill on the fly, master it, and go on to produce something extraordinary with it. This might explain why the animators have put him through many difficult tasks in the show's lengthy history, and how SpongeBob has been able to finish all of them, and in most cases, end up being victorious. Please tell us in the comments which are your favorite SpongeBob jobs and adventures. Number 5, the characters represent the 7 deadly sins. One of the most famous theories that runs deep on the internet is the one associating the 7 deadly sins with the main characters that we see in the show. In case you don't know, the 7 deadly sins are a group of vices that you can find in Christian teaching. They're a group of 7, which are pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. This theory went so far that SpongeBob's voice actor, Tom Kenny, had to do an interview to debunk it. Inside the debate, the community decided that each sin fit one character. The results were Pride, Sandy. Pride is strongly associated with a deep satisfaction of individual achievements. During the series, Sandy is always proud of every invention she creates or how great her karate skills are, but always thinking about herself. Greed, Mr. Krabs. Greed is the most selfish desire for something, especially wealth or power. Well, I think there's no need to explain Mr. Krabs' passion for money, right? Lust, Pearl. Lust is known to be an intense sexual desire. There's many times where we see Pearl searching for the perfect boyfriend or even wanting to meet TV stars. Envy, Plankton. Envy is an insatiable desire that is based around wanting things that others have. This is another clear example because how many times have we seen Plankton trying to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula? Gluttony, Mrs. Puff. Gluttony is the overindulgence in food. There are some episodes in which writers have speculated about Mrs. Puff being obsessed with food. Wrath, Squidward. Wrath is uncontrolled feelings of anger and hatred. We always say that Squidward is not the happiest person in Bikini Bottom, and sometimes he even has problems controlling his anger. Sloth, Patrick. Sloth is excessive laziness. Outside of being SpongeBob's best friend, Patrick is known to be a really laid-back and lazy person, so much that it looks excessive. Depending on where you look at this theory, there are times where Gary is considered a great candidate for the position of gluttony too. So, there you have it. These are some SpongeBob theories that you can find on the internet. If you like this kind of content, please tell us in the comments and subscribe to our channel so we can provide you with even more spectacular SpongeBob content.